yesterday I wasn't working at all yesterday, and so I didn't do much social media. But for like 30 minutes, I went on just to kind of see what was going on, and the reaction to Deshaun Watson's practice yesterday was people have lost their minds. I gotta, and I know
it wasn't just yesterday, Bull. They didn't just lose them. They've been gone.
I know, but here's the thing. You're right. It's crazy, and this is not exclusive to Cleveland.
Before you get to the reaction, Zach, how did Deshaun look yesterday? So everyone's on the same page.
Okay,
they know what they're reacting to.
Fair enough.
He resembled a professional quarterback for the first time yesterday.
Yes.
It was far and away his best day.
His first throw, I was looking down and I heard it.
Yeah.
And I looked up. It's like, oh,
right.
Okay.
It was the first day that he had consistent or consecutive completions on any type of consistent basis, and it was the first day that there was more than one throw that made you say, oh, that was really good. Because every time he's done that previously, he's followed it up with one of the worst misses you've ever seen.
You said you heard it?
Yeah.
The zip catching hand?
Like we were happy to be standing right
Yeah.
there. The ball hitting his, I forget who caught it. The ball hitting his hands made a pop that made me look up.
I had texted the group, and then I want to get to the reaction too, but I had heard from multiple people who were out there like, hey, Deshaun's cooking today. So I texted the group, and you and G. Bush, who were both out there, and now you're confirmed as a third set of eyes, all said the same thing. By far his best practice to date, maybe his best ever as a member of the Cleveland Browns.
Probably, yes. Someone actually asked me that, and I said yes.
This conversation alone tells you that we have lost our mind as a society. We are debating, we are talking about a guy who you traded 87 things for, which I had no problem with. And we're trying to get ourselves excited because he had one decent day of practice.
Nobody here is getting excited.
No, I know nobody here is getting excited.
But we're acknowledging that he finally threw it well.
Who cares?
Right.
And I got to tell you, like, I know this is gonna. Oh, you're so negative. You know, yesterday even Michael Simon, Cleveland's own. Oh, the Cleveland media is too tough. Michael Simon, you should know. He said the Cleveland media is tougher than Philly and New York. Has he lost his mind, Michael Simon?
I saw he tweeted
Absurd.
At Emmett Golden.
Yeah, then
on
I
ESPN.
responded.
You responded, and we like Michael Simon's been on the show.
Michael. He's the
great
best.
dude. We would love for him to come back on the show.
We'll come back and debate this.
He's so wrong on this.
He couldn't be more wrong.
I sent him a text this morning to see if he wanted to come on about this.
Couldn't be more, and I love him.
I know. We love Michael here too.
Couldn't be more wrong. First of all, every media has a mix of some good and some bad. Everybody gets lumped together.
Yeah.
The media in general in this town is completely soft, and everybody that's not soft, including the people on this panel, knows the media in this town is soft. So that's number one. But that's why what people like you and Jason and I get called negative all the time, because we're keeping it real, and there's too many people that don't. Okay, number one. The truth is, this whole quarterback situation is a disgrace. It's embarrassing, and the fact that we're having to have the fact that people are who won the quarterback battle today. Right. They're both awful. They might not always be awful. I've said a million times, I still think there's a chance Shedeur Sanders could be something. I don't know. Deshaun Watson is awful. He's awful, and nothing is going to change that. I don't care if he has a good day of practice. It's practice. Now, I could look into when something's terrible at practice, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong when I'm done here. If a guy's terrible at practice, that has some meaning to me.
Sure.
If a guy plays well in practice, that means nothing. It's practice. Mm-hmm. He's not getting hit. So the fact that not everybody, and certainly nobody in this panel, the fact that some people got excited that he had a good day of practice, every day should be a good day of practice for Deshaun. If you're a legitimate NFL quarterback, you should never have a bad day. You could have some bad throws. You should never have a day where we're like, that's terrible. And pretty much almost every day he's had here at practice, games, whatever, has been terrible. So no, it's meaningless to me that he had a good day of practice. It's a complete joke that anybody would get excited about it.
He's only on the roster because they cannot afford to cut him.
He's only in the NFL because of that.
That's right. This is the guy that sunk the franchise.
Yeah.
You gave up the farm for him. He's played 19 games, 3 of them well.
Yes.
Right? Like, he's on the team. A year and a half ago, the owner came out and said, like, this was a swing and a miss. And it wasn't controversial. It was factual. And he's still on the team because you've done such a poor job. And he comes out every day and he stinks, so he has one good day and you take notice.
Yeah.
He did throw 6 interceptions over the first 4 days. He hasn't thrown one since. But he has not put 2 passes together before yesterday, let alone 2 days.
I mean, look at how low
and they owe him $80 million on the cap after this year. So even if he plays and plays well, they can't bring him back because they have to void years, and his cap number next year when he's not on the team will be $50 million. This is the worst trade in NFL history. This guy has no value for the current Cleveland Browns. He has one good practice.
I don't even know what to say.
I can't believe that I'm being backed into the corner to even try and defend Deshaun. But I just keep thinking, I don't disagree. I want to make it clear. I don't think Deshaun's good. I don't think he's going to end up being good.
Yeah.
But I'm also not going to get annoyed or upset by fans who want to get excited at this point of the season when there have been no games, every team's 0-0. This is when fans should get excited, whether they want to believe the quarterback tracker and make it the end-all, be-all Bible. That's up to them. But
we're going to tell them the truth, whether they like it or not. And I'm that quarterback tracker is garbage.
I'm not saying by one practice you should change your opinion on who's winning the quarterback battle, but if you're starving on an island, you haven't eaten in 5 days, and an MRE gets dropped from the sky, and it's the first calories you have. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a flaming on or an MRE. You're gonna eat the food.
It's not an MRE.
Mike, the MRE in this case is
Browns fans, if they want to get excited because Deshaun had a good practice, and they want to tell themselves maybe this is the start.
Browns fans,
let them tell them. I'm just not here to tell a fan how to fan. I'm not going to tell a fan how to fan.
Bring up that graphic, please. Bring up that graphic, please. Okay.
QB tracker.
Yeah.
Look,
Bring up
yeah. I mean, I watch every throw of every practice. I believe that the numbers are accurate or close to accurate. I'm not charting every single pass, right? But that's 7 touchdowns because they were all thrown in the red zone. The play was started at the 8-yard line or the 3. In 7 practices, there have been 2 touchdowns thrown in not red zone drill.
Yeah.
One was a complete duck underthrown by 6 yards, and one was a complete dime that was so good that Todd Monken stopped practice after.
And those are both the door, right?
2 non-red zone touchdowns in 7 days.
Yeah.
So yes, he did throw 7 touchdowns yesterday, and yes, a couple of them made you say, "Wow." But on one of them was right in front of us. Luke Florea ran out of bounds. It's not even a touchdown.
Yeah,
they
right. And it's not like he earned his way down the field. They were just working on red zone.
They put the ball at the 8-yard line
I
and
mean,
said,
come
snap.
on. What are we doing here?
Each drill has a purpose and a starting point. And
There's
it
no
specifically
context on
It's
that.
3 plays in a row from the left hash, 8-yard line.
Yeah.
It's 4 plays in a row from the right hash, 4-yard line.
Yeah.
Like, so you should score on those. You're right, but if you don't score on 3 of those 4, it's a failure.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if fans want to get excited, this is all, like, let them get excited. I agree with you. I don't think Deshaun's going to be any good. I'm not changing my impression of him based off one practice. But if a fan wants to get excited because Deshaun had a good practice, let the fans get excited.
Fans could do whatever they want.
Like, this is not a high school pep rally. We're not trotting out the sophomore quarterback.
I'm not
saying he had 7 touchdowns in our scrimmage against Columbia Station.
I was not critical.
This is the National Football League, and the guy can't play.
We're celebrating this if he's getting a trophy.
So you're more mad at, like, Pat McAfee retweeting this.
Pat McAfee's an idiot.
Okay, then that I'm agree with. Like, well, not I like Pat McAfee. I like Pat McAfee. Yes,
but he's a moron. We all know this.
The media should not be hyping up the fact that Deshaun threw 7 touchdowns. But I also don't want to come out here after yesterday on this very show.
Yeah.
You, me, and Jay sitting here were like, and Zach with us. Deshaun Watson has been unplayable through camp.
Yeah.
He goes out and has a good practice, and then just be like, "Oh yeah, he deserves." I'm just trying to acknowledge the fact that it's okay that he had a good day. It does not change how any of us think about Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
But if a fan, and once again, understand that's not what you're criticizing.
Yeah.
If a fan wants to talk themselves into maybe there is something left in Deshaun because he had a good day in practice, I'm not going to tell them don't get excited on August 5th.
But I will too, because I want fans to have realistic what's the word? I can't think of the word.
Expectations.
Expectations.
And they'll be realistic today when he probably throws 8 interceptions.
No, there's one thing you can realistically and fairly take from it. Okay, he finally had a good day. Like, this quarterback competition is going on. Right?
Yeah.
Today's the 6th. It's going till at least the 23rd. The coach has said, we got at least one more day of alternating. Like, when we are ready to make a decision, we'll stop the alternating, but I don't see that happening next week.
Right.
He's saying if it's still a competition, and it probably is, then they're both going to start one preseason game. Well, the preseason games are the 15th and the 22nd, right? That's a long way away.
Yeah.
They only have 2 practice days off in between. So it did have, this is a competition, so that's what fans can take.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
What was Todd's initial timeline? OTAs, right?
He said end of OTAs early in camp, meaning that he knew there'd be an acclimation period in camp. He knew he wanted it to be now so they could go forward.
And that's just not happening.
But he's been willing to push it back 2 weeks or even 6.
You know that when he's, I don't know who's in his inner circle of close confidants. You know when it's private and he's talking to those guys, he's like, these guys can't play.
That's right.
right? I mean, that's what he's saying.
It's not even out of the realm of possibility that Shedeur starts
Yeah.
like he should and Deshaun plays in red zone and running situations. It's
Really?
not out of the realm of possibility.
That's
wow.
no, you can't do that.
Mike, this is the Cleveland Browns.
You can't do that.
You can't.
Well, most teams can't, but Zach's right. He's covered this team.
I'm not
longer
saying
than-
that's going to happen. I'm saying that's in the realm of possibility. And I've thought that since the spring when I've watched them.
Oh my God.
Almost every day in practice is bad.
I have
Yeah.
considered every possible outcome for this. That is not even one that I was allowing myself to consider a reality or a possibility of being a reality. But
Yeah.
They're giving Deshaun Watson a chance for foolish reasons. But the two that you can point to are he has the experience edge and he has the athleticism edge. And Todd Monken wants to run. Todd Monken has said multiple times, and so is the offensive coordinator, we are going to run scramble more than we run any play. Like, that's just how it breaks
Yeah.
down. And that's not even, he's acknowledging a new offensive
Yeah.
line and all of this. But, like, you see Watson gets in and they run a designed keeper every now and again. Now, we know he's going to get hurt.
Yeah,
That happens. But, like, this is what the head coach and the designer of the offense is thinking. So that's why it's not out of the realm. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's not out of the realm of
Is he
possibility.
still athletic enough? I mean, coming off the injuries?
It's a good question.
Yeah. I mean,
it's hard to tell in camp.
It's
without
hard
pads,
to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
I mean, if you want to do that, just play Taylor Green. That would be funny.
Yeah, I mean, see, that's the thing. I think later in the season, Taylor Green might be active on game days and might play that role. But early, because Taylor Green's not getting even the regular rookie reps because all the focus is on these guys.
Yeah.
So
right.
it's just it's year zero for Taylor Green. Next year will be his rookie development year.
Jason, what's your take on what happened yesterday? You sat there.
He was
quietly.
there, yeah.
Smiled.
I just enjoy, and I'm good, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this. I mean,
That was the most fired up we've been, and it wasn't an argument.
yeah.
We were agreeing, just
Yeah.
phrasing it in slightly different ways.
I thought he had a good day. I don't know that it means anything in the grand picture, but yeah, he had a good day yesterday. And I hear your point, and like I think it's only fair to acknowledge, yeah, he had a good day.
Acknowledge fine. But some of the media comments were just,
I didn't see
ridiculous.
I didn't see what you're talking about.
yeah, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But it's just, come on, let's live in reality. Stop.
So let me ask
This
you.
is a competition of who's
Can I
not
ask-
the bigger loser.
Can I ask you a question? I'm curious to all you guys.
Yeah.
Unlikely,
Yeah.
granted. Deshaun comes out today and has another really good practice.
Uh-huh.
How many does he have to put in a row before you start to believe that maybe he is turning it? And the bar to turning the corner
Yeah.
is still incredibly low. I get it. But how many of these in a row would you say, okay, maybe he's not the worst thing I've ever seen, like you said in
Easy
the past?
answer for me would have to be 4 practices.
4 practices
Because
in a
I've
row?
never seen him play 4 good games in an orange helmet. So I would have to see 4 practices in a row.
Yeah.
Because I saw 6 dreadful practices, 2 of them as bad as you could ever imagine, including the first day when everybody's fresh. The first day, he could not complete a pass in individuals, in team, in anything. And until yesterday, in team drills, every time you had a nice completion, the next play was either a pick or a miss by 6 yards. And that's exactly what it looked like in the spring, too.
So your answer's 4.
Nothing. There's nothing Deshaun Watson could do besides games. I mean, he would have to do something in games for me to think he could be a serviceable quarterback.
I mean, I told you guys for months they want Deshaun to win the job.
Which it just doesn't make any
So
sense.
I don't think that he has to put very many together
No, I'm saying for
to win
you,
the job.
for you
because the
personally.
thumb is on the scale.
For you personally, but to think that there's any chance of a reclamation for Deshaun Watson, how many good practices in a row would you have to have, or you have to see, to believe that it's even still possibly in there?
Probably more than 4.
More than 4?
Like up until August 23rd. And even then, I don't think I would believe.
Speaking of 4, he shows how tone deaf he is by coming to his interview wearing his 4 hat. Like, this is long past, man. Just wear a Browns hat. Like, be a member of the team, right? Like, this whole 4 thing is way gone. You sunk the franchise. Like,
So embarrassing.
so tone deaf.
Yeah. Well, that's never going to change.
Today's the last day of installs, right?
Yep.
Or according to Todd Monken.
That's what it's full pads today, last day of installs, light practice tomorrow, and then Saturday full pads.
Is Casey Concepcion okay?
Yeah, he's back. I mean, now it
yeah.
was mostly a non-contact practice yesterday.
Right.
But I think he just had an awkward landing on the shoulder, and they're just
Right.
going to make sure he doesn't.
Everybody's
get
going
hit.
crazy about Boston. He's looked awesome, but how's Concepcion?
Fast.
Yeah.
Fast.
So you like both of them?
Yeah, I think Boston's been clearly the standout guy of spring and early camp. So,
Yeah.
but, I mean, Concepcion's made some plays. Like, one of the big completions early in camp was like a really not well thrown ball. And
Yeah.
Concepcion stopped, left his feet, and came back for it.
Yeah.
You've seen the ability. And he dropped the ball on several occasions in the spring.
Yep.
I haven't seen at least a bad drop. Maybe I've seen one not get caught, but I've
Yeah.
not seen a bad drop through 6-7 practices.
We're gonna have Mike Sando on next. He wrote he wrote the column of he does his tiers every year, and obviously Deshaun finished 31 of 35, and Shedeur finished 35 of 35. I don't know if you saw the comments about Shedeur.
I did.
It was pretty bad. What'd you think of that?
Yeah. Well, I think Pro Football Focus had 38 guys eligible last year for the full list, and Dylan Gabriel was 37th, and Shedeur was 38th. So that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. And then, again, Shedeur was a developmental quarterback a year ago and is a developmental quarterback now. He's got a long way to go. He should be the starter for this team, and they should sink or swim with him. But the fact that he has not won the job and the coaches have not budged, it's either gross incompetence and thinking Watson, or they just don't have any trust in him.
Either way,
so all we can do is report what we see.
Yeah.
And either way, it's bad. Either way, it's going to next year, which is what I've been saying.
Yeah. That was interesting that Jimmy, even though it's obvious to most of us, that Jimmy the other day admitted they're not really competing in 26.
And that's why I give him credit, because he's pretty transparent when he talks.
Yeah,
he's honest.
He tries to be honest as much as he can. Yeah. And I give him credit because he's the only owner in town who talks. That's it.
That's true.
Dan hasn't talked since 2019.
Right.
Yeah.
We wish it was more than 2 or 3 times a year, but you're right. He doesn't.
Yeah. Dolan only talks once in a while with state media.
Dolan would rather, I wrote in the piece that will go up later, he'd rather write a check to Tarek Skubal than answer questions from reporters. Like, he just doesn't do media ever.
Other than Jerry Jones, I don't think a lot of NFL owners do a ton of media either.
Most are available at the owners' meetings.
Yeah.
But other than that, because Jimmy speaks there and he does his annual training camp press conference.
Owners' meetings. He speaks
before
at
the season
training camp,
and at the end of the
season. And then when they
season.
fire someone.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
Which is a lot for an owner, and I do as much as
that's true.
I give him credit for that. Like
because really the owner should only talk on like big picture projects.
Yeah.
You know,
like the stadium,
which is stadiums and hirings are big picture projects. Yeah,
unless you're Jerry, and then they hold press conferences.
Well, he's the exception.
I just think it was interesting that son-in-law was part of the press conference, and like he cut Jimmy off once to.
This is the guy that's going to be the face of the Browns.
That's weird
at some point.
Weird. Very strange.